Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small but significant, I think, law firm in central Minnesota. A small but significant law firm in central Minnesota, and today we've got things and stuff to talk about. We'll discuss the mosquito in the room. We're going to talk about the hearing as much as we can. Now all I have for you is some speculation, right? There's no transcript. What's my hair even doing? I need to get this stuff cut. It's like a thicket. There's no... Sorry, everybody on Law Twitter. I will pour one out for your lost mains. Mine is still strong, so that's just life. That's just life. Anyway, so I have secondhand stories. We have tweets. We have speculation. We have a Dallas Morning News article. This is what we've got to go with. I have reached out to Ty, who is understandably very busy today. The hearing was supposed to be 2 hours, but I believe it went considerably longer than that. I have no idea why that would be. Something about something billing. I don't know that the defendants expected to be challenged on their billing, but I hear that there may have been some challenges to the billing today. That might have been on the docket. So Ty was very busy today. I was able to beat a few tidbits about what happened. I'm at peace. Okay. Part of the issue, I would have loved to go to this hearing. I really would have. It was not something I could do. It's way too close to Thanksgiving. As I said, I was teaching today. Oh, and if you're watching and you know who you are, how dare you ask me about COPA in class? Rude. I have said I have not read it yet, and am not an expert. So that was not funny. And because of that, the class was adequately punished with me ranting for 40 minutes instead of talking about Article 2 of the Constitution today. But that's what you get. That's what you get. Asking about COPA. Running from them papers. What, do you think that they would have subpoenaed me if I was in Texas today? I mean, maybe they would have. That's actually has nothing to do with why I wasn't there. But let's see. Anyway. No, it's I missed, while I was in Hawaii, I missed 2 of the early classes. As the teacher, can't really miss many more. But yeah, and plus, like I said, it's just that time of the year where we've got a lot of family stuff going on, and there's just no way. I mean, I'm not going anywhere that doesn't involve 5 children and a wife coming with me. So that's not in the cards right now. Man. I do have to say that there is a predominant sort of theme to the hearing today from what I've heard. And rather than talk about that predominant theme, I figured I'd just give you guys a visual illustration of what it is. Oh, hey, Ty. Check this out, Ty. Oh, you see it? That's you thinking you control me, but that's me controlling your sorry self, Mr. Beard. That's right. That's right. Get marionetted. You got nothing on this. This is I gotta get the link up for you guys on this. I should put that in the description. Let me find that, because you guys can buy this shirt. This is not mine. This is not a merch of mine, as my kids would call it. This is let's see. Oh goodness. Okay. What is this? I have this somewhere. It might be my Discord messages. Oh man, where is it? I want to get you guys a link. Specifically, every one of these shirts, I think there's like posters and puzzles and all sorts of stuff that is sold, gets a portion of it gets donated to the GoFundMe. And oh boy, there is nothing that torques the other side, as it were, off more than me and that GoFundMe. If it weren't for that Rekieta and that darn GoFundMe, they have oh boy, they're not happy. Kenneth Williams says you talked a friend into playing 40K, but she only wants to be a Slaneshi. Absolutely heretical. Oh buddy, that's the ticket. Marry her immediately. Marry her immediately, and also buy like a leather bit. You might need it. Yeah, Deathwing Light Gantz has it right. Hoes mad. Hoes mad. And man, are they mad. Trying to... These fools were trying to show the video of me and this show at deposition. I'm flattered. Did you want to convert Chup immediately against you? Because I think Chup's going to have a sense of humor. And you guys are humorless monsters. That's a miscalculation. You were done a favor by being denied the opportunity to expose Chup to the wonder of this show. Chup would be like, yeah, man, I think they are fat. That would be, can you imagine? Now that he mentions it, whew, those benches may need maintenance. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh. Not a good plan. Not a good plan. But they were denied that opportunity to introduce Chup to this show. You know, and that's it's a shame. It's a shame, but I'll take the lost one subscriber. That would be Judge Chup. I'll keep the like 4 that are his staff or whatever. That's fine. But I'll take the lost one on him. But these guys are so mad about that GoFundMe. So in honor of that, we're of course going to talk about the GoFundMe today. We're going to talk about it. We're going to bring it up. It's physically impossible for me to bring it up as much as Jay Sean has brought it up. So, but I'm going to, I'll try. We're going to put the GoFundMe up on screen several times during the show, one of which I'm getting it ready right now. Before I do that, I have to thank you guys profusely and personally. Not only did you guys show up yesterday to help out my friend Heath in building out that classroom, you guys have continued donating today, which is insane. Insane. And if you want to know how insane it is, like you guys have blown me away. Blown away my I thought maybe a couple people would donate a couple bucks. It'd be a nice little boost. We'd get him over 3,000 because he was at 2,810 when we started. He was at $2,810 when we started. And I'm like, look, if at the end of the day we're not there, I'll make up the gap. We'll get him over 3,000, and that'll be a cool, nice little way to end the campaign. We're at $8,413. Guys, let me put this into perspective for you. Yesterday night, starting at 11 p.m. So in 24 hours, you guys in this chat raised more money for this library than Jamie Markey could raise for a charity, a national charity for battered women, or what was it? Battered Sisters of Color or something. This chat in 24 hours raised more money than Jamie Markey could convince her legion of supporters to raise in 8 months. 8 months. What's sad is we're almost to the point where we have raised more money than Jamie Markey and Mars Girl combined in one night. In one night. Okay, guys, up in the corner of the screen, this one, I think, there is an eye, a little eye, and if you click on it, it has a poll on it that you can interact with. And we all know that everyone loves the polls. And then it has links to both Vic's GoFundMe and the Classroom Library. I am not going to sit and talk about the Classroom Library today. If you guys want to donate to it, I will gladly appreciate that very much. But I pushed it yesterday. This stream is about Vic, and I'm going to bring up Vic's GoFundMe a lot. I just wanted to thank you so much and laugh about how generous you guys are and how absolutely pathetic the Kick Vic side is. They can't do a good thing to save their lives. They can't do a self-serving thing to save their lives because the people who support them don't care about them. They don't care about the people. It's about the issue and their own Twitter ass pattery. That's what they care about. They don't actually care about Jamie Markey and Monica Rial or Ron Toye or Greg Douchebag or Mike probably should be single Dunford. They don't care about any of them. What they care about is getting their own self-flagellation. I did my activism on Twitter today, and I'm good with that. And that's why we will beat these people. Not these people, and not we. I mean, people who actually care about something in this world will overcome those people. Despite their temporary ascendancy, there will be a decline, because at the end of the day, they will not put their talents and treasures where their purported beliefs are, because they don't believe it. It's not about principles for them. So I just wanted to bring that up. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Heath had no idea what to say. he's like, I don't know. This is by message. I didn't get a chance to call him today, but I talked to him by message. I want to bring him on again, just to say, even if it's just to say thank you at some point in the near future. I think because he had no idea. I had no idea. He had no idea. And then I'm like messaging him at like 4 a.m. I'm like, hey, when you wake up in a bit, you've got to check this out. This is amazing. And he was speechless. So, so there's that. So thank you. Okay, let me get Vic's GoFundMe pulled up, and we're gonna talk about this thing a lot today. And oh man. Whoops. No wonder. I'm in the other browser, so. Okay. Vic Kicks Back is at $261,986. Oh. It hurts them. And it stings them personally. And it's the funniest thing that I never even thought that this would be a funny thing. Remember, if we can go back, if we can dial back into the lore a little bit on this, we'll talk back about where the GoFundMe came from, where the idea for the GoFundMe came from. It was a couple different places. One of those places was directly being requested by you guys, the chat, the fans out there. Vic Mignogna did bring up the idea of a Vic Kicks Back GoFundMe. They brought it up. They said, hey, can we find a place where people can go, a place they trust, a place they know is legitimate to help Vic, to support Vic. We want to help him do what needs to be done, whatever it is. Can we do that? And I said, yes, I guess. I'll do that. Sure. And why did I think that would work? Why did I think that would work is because I watched it work with Richard Meyer. Ethan Van Sciver opened a GoFundMe on behalf of Richard Meyer to fund his legal fees. I've seen other GoFundMes for legal fees, but this one worked in a small community with audience sizes, at least within the community, that are comparable. You know, Meyer's got his 70 at the time was like 70,000-80,000 subscribers. Ethan was around 100,000 subscribers. They had, pretty active live streams going, lots of engagement. And I didn't have that many with Vic, but Vic had similar amounts of support on Twitter. At the time, somewhere around 71,000 to 80,000 Twitter followers. And I thought, well, he's got this Twitter audience. He's, people go to conventions to see him. Ethan and your boy Zach have similar size audiences. They have a little different platform, but if we can merge the people who see my show and might be sympathetic with Vic's numbers, we're comparing, we're pushing into that 100,000 people range. And if we get 100,000 people, we can hopefully raise at least like $50,000 to $100,000. And in my head, I thought your boy Zach had his GoFundMe, and so did Mark Wade. I never thought these idiots would spend 9 months being butthurt about the GoFundMe rather than just being at all sensible and starting their own. Like, what were they thinking? I know what they're actually thinking. I know what really ran through their head, and what it was, oh my God, what if we don't raise as much as him? That's what they actually thought. That was their real fear, and they wouldn't do it. I mean, there's no way they would have a chance. But That was the fear. But I'm such a summer child, so naive. I'm like, yeah, we'll start a GoFundMe and hopefully we'll do better than theirs. That'd be great. They're definitely gonna start a GoFundMe because I'm flat out telling them they need to start a GoFundMe. I'm saying over and over, you can't pay for this. You can't afford this. It's way too expensive. No one can do this. No shame in it. Start up a GoFundMe. And that was a little bit two-faced. I wanted to bury their GoFundMe. I wanted to do better than they did. I had a pretty good idea that we would do better than whatever they did on the GoFundMe. But that's what I didn't think for the life of me that these morons would not open their own GoFundMe and then spend 9 months whining about this one. That's the funniest outcome that there could have been. No idea that they would do it. How dumb are they? No idea. No idea. So every time I see this number, even if I could come back from a week of not looking at it, and if it were $1 higher, I would smile. That has never even been close to the case. It's never even come near being that slow. But even if it were, I would still smile and be like, that's one more. That's one more. And it's so funny because it pains them. And I've thought about why it pains them. There's a couple reasons. One, because, oh my God, did they hate me and I did it. They don't hate me because I did the GoFundMe. They hate me because of how I talk about them and the fact that they're liars. That I can prove that they're liars, and they know it. Guys, Ron Toye knows I can prove he and Monica were lying about what is it, AzumiCon or whatever it was. He knows. They knew I could. Well, they didn't think I could. He knows now. He knows better now. But at the time when I was talking about KamehaCon, he thought there was no way in hell I could prove what they were doing. But now they know I can prove it. I can prove them to be liars. I already have. They hate it. They hate it. That's why they hate me. Because I can just show you. And they can't show anything because they would have. Make no mistake, nothing on earth has prevented them from showing their evidence against Vic, except maybe bad legal advice from Jay Sean. Think about this. Let's think about this. All we know, all we've seen throughout the trial, in hindsight, let's go back and talk about this. What was Ron's plan? I'm going to show you everything. I want to show you everything. We're going to show you everything. Everything's going to come out. What's come out? Nothing. Now, one of two things has happened. Either there never was anything. Likely. Very, very likely. The other option, these are not mutually exclusive, is that either Casey Eric or Jay Sean Lemoyne said, y'all need to just be quiet about this and not talk about it. Don't talk about nothing. Don't show nothing. We'll keep it. It'll be great. It'll be brilliant. We won't show them anything. That didn't work so well. And this, well, they're showing all this stuff on the YouTubes and on the Kiwi farms. They keep finding stuff, and that's gonna definitely bite them in court because that hasn't had any impact on anything in court. Like, the judge has never said, you went out there and blah, 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 blah. Of course, Vic would say, no, I didn't. Right? They've complained about Ty coming on live streams, and the judge is like, I don't really want a lawyer testifying about any of that stuff. Has he sanctioned Ty? Has he said, you really shouldn't have gone on those live streams? Not in any transcript I've seen. Not once. The only thing Chup ever said that I've seen and has stuck out to me at all is, are we on TV right now? at that early hearing, right? we on the internet right now? No, you boomer. You're not. None of that has come back to bite Vic. Not a bit of it. And again, Vic has no control over what I do at all. So I'm glad none of that has come back to bite him, but they couldn't really pin that on him anyway. But either way, so all that nonsense is either they don't have anything, which I think is true, or their lawyers have advised them not to release anything publicly because it would somehow hurt their case, because they swore that me talking publicly was somehow going to hurt Vic's case. Wrong. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's unfortunate. This is an unfortunate individual. Terrible. Wrong. So all of that said, that's the great thing. That's made them mad. They haven't been able to fight back in public. Of course, they'd have a real problem once they started realizing that people were watching them, people were attempting to verify what they said, and people could actually produce evidence contrary to their narrative. They might have thought, oh God, what happens if we do talk in public? We're gonna get annihilated. We will be SJW cucks destroyed by facts and logic. We'll be those guys. That'll be bad. Toye only likes being destroyed by a bad dragon or whatever. So that would be really terrible. So bringing all that full circle, they don't hate me because I started the GoFundMe. They hate me for that whole aspect of it. They hate the GoFundMe because every single dollar, every one of those dollars that I smile at, every one of those dollars that I smile at is a reminder someone out there doesn't care what they said about Vic. Didn't buy their lie, didn't buy their narrative, wouldn't do it. That's another person. That's another donation. That's not only another person. That's another person putting up money. Putting dollars in to say, you lied and we know it. And you guys are scumbags and we know it. Or at the very least, because I'm not trying to put words into every donor's mouth. This is how they see it. Okay? If I'm saying the words, I'd say at the very least, every dollar is a dollar saying, you know what? I just want a guy to have a day in court. I want him to be able to face his accusers in court. And then let the cards fall where they may. That's the reality. But every one of those is a personal affront to them in their minds. And 260,000 is a lot of personal affronts. A lot of personal... Oh, no. Oh, no, it's climbing. 262, 251. Uh-oh. It would be a real shame if that thing kept going up tonight. I'm just saying. They just spent hours trying to convince Chup that this matters. And this... Maybe Chup buys the argument. I don't know. You know what I some of you have been following along on Twitter. Some of you have been following along with, there were a couple, very quiet law Twitter today, but there were a couple people tweeting about the hearing when they got chances to. I didn't see a celebratory dance. I didn't see anybody celebrating Chup destroying the GoFundMe or saying, yeah, that GoFundMe's a real problem. I didn't see any of that. I saw a very muted and neutral observation. We got a muted, and from what I hear, I haven't read it. I'm going to read it live. Real Lawyer reacts live to Sharon Griffsby's article. I have heard that she had a rather muted and neutral article. That is, if there isn't a stunning indictment of how this hearing seems to have gone. Now, let me be very clear. Do not run with those words and think that everything's going to be great tomorrow. A hearing, how a hearing goes, is not necessarily indicative of how a ruling will result, especially a ruling that has a judge afforded the time to not be in front of a bunch of pissy lawyers bickering about BS. Okay? Chup did not issue a ruling today. So from what I have seen and heard, I don't think the hearing went quite like Jay Sean anticipated. And it gives me a modicum of hope that Chup will not do what I expect. Reminder of what I expect. I expect Chup to award them basically everything they ask for. Maybe slashing 10%, something like that, to say, well, it might be a little high. I don't really want to figure out exactly where. That's a lot of proof. We're going to just shave 10% off. So it goes from $280,000 to $68,000, right? 262. 252. Shave off about 30 grand, whatever. That's what I expect to happen. Now, personally, I consider anything lower than that by any significant amount. I'm not talking a percentage point. I'm talking 20%, 30%, 40%. Anything significantly lower than that than taking off 10%. They have to see that as being pretty much devastated by the ruling. But what will Chup do? I am fully expecting the worst outcome. It's my theory on Chup. I have not changed it, not one bit. There's some modifications and caveats we can put in. My ultimate theory is Chup says this thing's going to appeal. The easiest thing for him to do is just throw out the award of whatever they asked for and then go ahead and let the appeals court sort it out. Because the appeals court is going to look at every aspect of the case, including the fee award, and determine if that fee award is reasonable. That's all part of it. It's reviewed de novo. It doesn't even matter if Chup had a reversible error on that particular issue, because they're going to review the issue. Now, whether or not they rule differently than him is entirely up to them. However, just saying, like, they don't have to find an issue with the fees if the entire case is examined de novo. The applicability and the application of the TCPA is reviewed de novo. So they're going to look at that whole thing. They're going to determine if the TCPA is valid, and then they will follow the statute. The fees and sanctions awards are statutory measures. They're going to look at all of that. For Chup, in my opinion, his easiest avenue is just award them what they asked for. Get it off my desk. I got an indication from the last hearing that Chup does not want to see this case anymore, and he doesn't want to fight with the appeals court over jurisdiction, and he doesn't want that weird delay to cause either party any prejudice, because then that would also be appealed, and that would also be frustrating. So he just wants this out. And I think he's indicated that he will issue his ruling tomorrow, from what I'm told and from what I read on Twitter. I think that's a big part of it. I think Chup had an idea going into this hearing what he was going to do. I don't know if he changed his mind. He wants this thing out of his court, because if it's out of his court, then there's no question the appeals court will have jurisdiction, and he's not involved in that fight, and he's not interfering with it. That's my theory. I'm sticking with it. If I'm pleasantly surprised, I'm pleasantly surprised. All right? A caveat to that theory is Chup indicated the number 500,000 unsolicited in the previous hearing, November 8th. I think there's a possibility that Chup has a number in mind. Maybe it is 500,000, and maybe he goes, across the board, I'm going to award fees and sanctions, and it's going to equal this amount. If it's 500,000, it's 500,000. If it's 250, it's 250. Now, maybe that amount went up or down today, but I think maybe there's that at play. Like the idea that he has decided what is justice as far as preventing a frivolous lawsuit in the future, honoring the statute and all of that stuff, and balanced by the facts that he knows what he considers to be a just outcome. And he's got that in his mind. He's just going to divvy it up and throw it out that way. But it's we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Chup is the wild card. And I want to remind people, I've said this from the beginning again, that the human element, it's the one thing in the courtroom you can never, ever account for properly. You can try and mitigate it. You can work really hard to prevent it, but nothing you can do overcomes the human element. At some point, there's a guy on the other end of the argument, and that guy's the decision maker. Sometimes it's a lady, right? They're the decision maker, and you don't get to, you can try and convince them, but they're the decision maker. They bring their own biases, they bring their own perspectives to everything, their own knowledge, all that is going to be brought to the table, and there's nothing you can do about that. So I would not have predicted a CHUP ruling on the TCPA hearing itself, and I certainly don't know what to predict tomorrow. That's why I'm sticking with my theory, just based on what I've seen. CHUP wants this out. Now there's some complications with that potentially. There's a weird sort of theory out there that this is still in CHUP's jurisdiction, and I've talked about this. CHUP, as long as it's in his jurisdiction, he can reconsider anything. That's pretty much settled. There is no point while something is in a court's jurisdiction, there's no cutoff for them changing their mind. They could reconsider. If CHUP rules on a final ruling tomorrow, that may foreclose reconsideration. Either his own reconsideration or if something's prompted by the parties. I think we've seen Lemoyne is trying to sneak in a reconsideration. He's been trying that since the TCPA hearing. Actually, since he got the written ruling, I think Lemoyne was looking at that going, this doesn't help us on appeal. This doesn't help us at all on appeal. There's a lot of holes in this. This is a problem. And so he's asked the judge to clarify and solidify some rulings that CHUP has ignored, to his credit. But he's been trying to get that reconsideration in a little bit. And there may have been a miscalculation in extending this thing out. Maybe CHUP will actually go back and look at things and say, I don't know about this. But I think maybe if he rules tomorrow, it might foreclose that. I don't know. I'm not an expert on how that window closes when jurisdiction ends, and if the appeal would then nullify any if it would put a stay on any sort of reconsideration or whatever. So, yeah. Oh, 262,751. Oh man. That's a whole lot of personal animus. That's a lot of money to the sanitation fund to clean up some garbage people. Okay, let me read some super chats that have come in from the beginning of the show, and then let's see if we can read through this Grigsby article and just keep the conversation going. Today is going to be kind of free form like this. We don't have a ruling. We don't have a transcript. I will try and get a transcript as soon as possible. I will try and get a copy of the ruling or confirmation of the ruling or whatever it may be so we can report on it. But obviously there is no ruling yet today. And the transcript is going to take a little time. Savoy6 says, Nick, did you see that Vic turned Sharon Grigsby? Anime voice actor Vic Mignogna makes a reasonable case that he didn't file suit for vengeance. How embarrassing for Lemonhead. Oh man, when your allies are writing that. Oh God, that's got to sting a little bit. Especially because I have a feeling that one of those redactions might have been discussing a PR strategy, and I bet that PR strategy was probably exceptional. That's the PR. The PR is you know, an abbreviation of probably exceptional. Sharon Grigsby, the reporter. The R is exceptional, just so we know. Yeah, that's got it. I think she was part of that PR push, and I think maybe, I mean, I'm not claiming anything untoward here. I think many people know that some articles get funded. Some articles get funded. So, Savoy6 says, Nick Offerman partnered with Lagavulin to create a Ron Swanson 11 year. Supposed to be in stores now. Well, that sounds like a special edition whiskey review if I can find a bottle. I'm going to hold off judgment. Gimmick bottles always concern me. Always concern me. Chris Byron says, heaven is a positive or negative experience based on how you used your will or theosis. Grace is natural to man. Gnomic will is good and evil. Free will, choice between multiple goods. Christ is the logos. Ortho bro gang. Oh, there you go. Christ is the logos. I actually, if you ever get me like drunk enough to religious nerd out, I've got a lot of thoughts about what the logos means and how it runs as a theme through the Bible and stuff. I think that is fascinating. The idea of a three cog god, so to speak, and each of the cogs working together. Anyway, that being said, I'm not doing it now. But thank you for sending that in. Cars in Depth says, did you see the email from the Dallas Morning News editor about Grigsby's bias that I forwarded to you? Wait, from the Dallas Morning News editor? Let's see. I saw the one to the Dallas Morning News editor. Oh, wait, here we go. Well, should I talk about this just a little bit? I think that's amazing. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this real quick. Because maybe there's something to this. I hope the lawyers in the audience are listening. So this is, I'm not going to dox the sender, but sent to Mr. Campbell of the Dallas Morning News. According to an eyewitness at the Tarrant County Courthouse, one of your reporters on scene to cover a hearing in the defamation case, defamation and tortious interference lawsuit filed by voice actor Vic Mignogna, Sharon Grigsby, in conferring with the defendants, has referred to them as us and the plaintiff and his legal team as them. It appears that Ms. Grigsby is incapable of covering this story in an unbiased manner, as she clearly has taken the defendant's side in the matter. Wouldn't you agree that it is impossible for her to regard herself as part of the defendant's team and still impartially report on the case? Does identifying with and indicating support for one party in a lawsuit meet the Dallas Morning News' standards for objectivity and neutrality in news reporting? Can you think of a legitimate journalistic reason for a news reporter to identify as siding with one party over another in an as yet unresolved legal case? I professionally write about cars in the automotive industry. I'm not going to read your name, don't worry. Including straight news as well as features and commentary. If my editors found out that I was referring to an automaker or supplier using words like we or us, I'd get fired. Now, there's a reply to this. There's a reply to this that I think bears reading. It says, addressed to the sender. Thanks for writing to me. I've worked closely with Sharon for 25 years. She's a journalist of the highest ethical standards and integrity. What you describe runs counter to all I have witnessed in working with her. Provide me evidence of this besides an email recounting an anonymous eyewitness account with no details. Well, I am curious. I am curious. So, I don't know if there's any evidence of it. I don't know if there's any evidence of it. I mean, outside of, you know, like eyewitness testimony is literally, it is evidence. But I don't know if there's any evidence of it. But if there is any evidence of it, I hope it finds its way to my hands. Because I think maybe I would be happy to, if evidence exists and it finds its way to me, I would be happy to make sure that that evidence finds its way to this person so that they can then forward it along. So, show her Twitter account. I don't want to show her Twitter account, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, all you have to do is just look at her Twitter account. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there was the guy who was on the stream after the other hearing who talked about, you know, what she was saying at that point in time. But, you know, that's still an anonymous eyewitness thing. It's on my Discord. Where? Put it in. Direct me, Siren Jag. Where is it? Why is your description in all caps? The links don't work with all caps. You did the links? I didn't do that. That's not me. I think the all caps was a joke about it being a hearing. So. Anyway, if you've got, yeah, Siren, if you can get me that. I don't know what you're talking about. But, you know. Anyway. We'll see. We'll see. If there's proof, we'll find it. We'll find it. Okay. Next, what do we got? Latintha says, "Hey Rackets, made $440 on my stocks today. Enjoy yourself a good whiskey." Hey, thank you. Congratulations. Good day on stock. West Nile Chan says, "Nick, the only thing my sweet Limwakun inflates is his viral load. He's going to huff and puff and blow away Vic Chan's GoFundMe." Perception Check says, "Grifted by Nikki, alleged lawyer and puppet master in chief. This is a contribution to the whiskey fund. Have to go to bed soon. Good night, y'all." Good night, Perception Check. Thank you. Thank you very much. Dustin Fritzfar says, "Unfortunately, I was unable to answer your question during last night's stream. Chernobog is actually a pun on the Slavic god of evil. Chernobog says Zernobog. Their most notable feature in Western media would be in Disney's Fantasia." Oh, thank you. Legendary Devil Hunter Dante says, I sense a large amount of butthurt. Rackets, I think it's time. Open the floodgates. Get the sacred ointment. Ace 158920001. The reason why Marchie's failed is because it was a fraud charity. And Arms, well, she just sucks because her arms are too long to give handies. Yeah, I don't think it being a fraud charity is what sunk it. I think what sunk it was the weight of Jamie Markey's influence. Nilix7 said, with how broad the new COPA is, effectively fining people for making content with video games, animes, toys, or even phrases such as cool because it could target kids. Could this be a serious violation of the First Amendment? Oh, yeah, the first content creator who gets fined under an FTC ruling like that is going to have a great First Amendment case. And I'm sure the EFF and several other people will be just begging to take that case to the Supreme Court. Sakaki Onsai says, today's proceedings show that charisma is not a throwaway statistic. Thanks, Kiwis, for reference. Vic always rolls natural 20s. Lemoyne rolls natural 1s. Theme song for the night, Taking the Town by Icehouse. Hashtag Vic's my bro. Oh, TLJ Screwjob, you know me. That's coming. That is coming. Don't worry. All right, we're now at $262,776. Let me read a couple names. We've got lots of anonymous. Thank you all to the anonymous donors. I'm not going to read each one. James Ketter, Matt Ingram, John Presley, Brent Worrell, Aaron Rogers, Ryan Case, Ryan Conley, Freighter J, Chris Hester, Ryan Klassic. I don't know how to speak my own language. Brad Holm, Chris Hester, Kevin Grethrin, Jacob Buchanan, Nathan Phillips. Oh, thanks, Nathan Phillips. Jesse Fritz, Dominic Lusso. Thank you. And Ron Toye Beats Women. I think that one's probably going to get returned, if I had to guess. And Tom Young. Thank you guys. Oh, and finally, Davey and Bowens. Thank you all for the donations. We'll do occasional name reads. Remember, though, joke and meme names do get returned. And they make a hassle for the GoFundMe team, who has, aside from that kerfuffle, been rather helpful and supportive this entire time. So here we go. Let's see what Sharon Grigsby had to say about this hearing. This is from the Dallas Morning News. I will add commentary as able here. This is by Sharon Grigsby. The headline, this is a shocking headline from Sharon Grigsby, is, gotta get this pulled up. Thank you, Tillip, for fixing the description. The unforeseen consequences of YouTube auto linking things. Anime voice actor Vic Mignogna makes a reasonable case that he didn't file suit for vengeance. Of course, this was never about vengeance. That's a silly notion. This is about restoring a reputation and preserving what reputation you have left. Facing allegations of inappropriate behavior towards women, quote, I decided I had no other recourse to save whatever career or reputation I had left. Vic Mignogna Wright walks into court with his attorney Ty Beard at the Tom Vandergriff Courthouse in Fort Worth on Thursday. Thanks to Lawrence Jenkins for that picture. Actually, a pretty good picture. All right, so this was written at 6:50 p.m. Probably about as fast as she could write it and get it approved. So good job on Sharon Grigsby doing this quickly. I'm praising her work ethic without a hint of irony on this article. I don't know about the rest of her stuff. I don't care. Anime voice actor Vic Mignogna took the stand Thursday for the first time, weeks after he left. This is the first time he's been called to the stand, so I don't think she's trying to imply anything. I just want to be clear. It's not like he was avoiding the stand. They've never asked to put him on the stand. Can we get a link to this article? Yes. Yes, here comes the link. Link is in the chat from me. So, I think. There it is. There it is. Hey, Ty, you don't want that Lego Harry Potter set being advertised? Lady Rackets made me buy her one. I have it. I have it. It's not built. It's in a giant box that I had to carry around the Mall of America for hours. You don't want it. Anyway, weeks after he lost round 1 of his defamation lawsuit and steadfastly maintained that his legal action was the last resort of a man desperate to save his career. The Grapevine-based actor and Dragon Ball star, long hounded by allegations of inappropriate behavior towards women, filed suit in April against his former employer, 2 Dallas area colleagues, and the fiancé of one of the women. Oh, even in the article, Ron's an afterthought. Almost immediately after State District Judge John Chupp dismissed the last of Mignogna's 17 claims on October 4th, his legal team made clear that an appeal is coming. That's not really accurate. It was not almost immediate. It was about a week later, actually. I think 6 days. I remember this because every day, everybody's asking me, what's going on with the appeals? What's with the appeals? What's with the appeals? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. Almost immediately would be that day. That day. Now, if I remember right, Ty came on the show that night and had said that he wasn't able to confirm whether or not an appeal would be done. He had not spoken to his client and did not have the about that issue and did not have the authority to state one way or the other whether an appeal should be done. So I don't think that almost immediately is accurate. I'm being critical here, Sharon. I'm being critical because you deserve it. But before that can happen, actually, you can't say that. Chupp can't even say that. Both sides had to return to Chupp's courtroom Thursday to hear arguments on the awarding of defense lawyer fees and possible sanctions against the actor. At the day's end, Chupp indicated he would rule as early as Friday on the requests, which total about $800,000. The defense team subpoenaed Mignogna as part of its strategy, but my sense was that the actor's testimony helped his own cause far more than it hurt it. Uh-oh! Oh no! Sharon, did you figure out that when a wheezy, iron lung laden monster gets up in front of people and asks questions of a handsome, composed actor who is used to communicating publicly as part of his profession, that it might go in the favor of the professional communicator whose job it is to make people like him, rather than the professional swamp beast whose job it is to make people not like him. Did you, a journalist, figure out that would potentially be a miscalculation where the brilliant, super expert lawyer, trial lawyer extraordinaire, Nickelback worshipping swamp beast Jay Sean Lemoyne couldn't figure out that putting Vic, who after watching his deposition and literally listening to him say all of the bad stuff he's ever done in his entire life, people liked him after that. Do you guys not think, do you other side not think at all? Did you not look and watch that after your clients, who are shrill and horrid and unlikable, had their videos shown to the world, People didn't like them and didn't believe them and didn't trust them. You gotta go outside your hug box, Jay Sean. This is why you don't go protected on Twitter and cower in the corner, sucking off the teat of Duchette, who is not a smart man. I don't know how else to say it. I just don't know how else to say it. I don't know how he duped you. I don't know if he's threatening you with a bankruptcy suit, because that's where he seems to be an expert, is on bankruptcy. I don't know what he did to convince you that he was smart and he had a good read. This man, Jay Sean, you're taking public perception input from Greg Doucette, one of the memeiest Republican candidates ever, for how badly he was spanked out of an election. This guy doesn't know. This guy's election went so bad, he personally went bankrupt because not only did the voters run away, his money fled the scene as fast as possible. This guy is so bad at gauging public perception that there's an article written that he tweeted too much to be elected. Donald Trump got elected by Twitter. Doucette tweeted too much to be likable. And you're listening to his input on who did better at deposition? Lemoyne, if I didn't get thrown off of Twitter, understand this, I would have as many followers as T. Greg does. And all I did was call people like you fatso. The guy can't build an audience because he's got the charisma of a dead skunk. Except that has more hair than him. Nobody likes Greg Doucette except you and like 14 other unpopular lawyers. I'm a guy in the middle of nowhere that you think you're making fun of every day, being a fourth-year attorney. More people listen to me than all of you guys combined every day, and I'm just a fourth-year attorney in the middle of nowhere, and you're listening to them. More people listen to me yell at you for 3 hours every single day than will react to one tweet from Greg Doucette. And all they have to do for that is click like. And more of them will sit here and listen for 3 hours. And you're listening to him on public perception. You're getting marketing advice from Jack Kevorkian. Just pay the rest of the tab and have him finish the job, man. Of course putting Vic on the stand was a mistake. Of course it was. He's handsome and likable and professional. And you've misread him every single step of the way because you're an idiot and everybody you listen to is brain dead. If you would have just asked, I would have said, don't put Vic on the stand unless you want to get your butt handed to you. You're horrible in front of people, and everybody who listens to him likes him. They listened to him say he hired a prostitute and said, yeah, well, oh well. They listened to him say he cheated on his spouse, and they said, I still like the guy, though. Oh my God! They could listen to you saving children from a burning building, and they'd say, oh man, I wish he would have stayed behind, though. I'm glad he saved the kids, but I wish he would have choked out at the end, dropped the kid outside so the kid could run away, and he would have died in the entryway. Because that's just an unfortunate human being. That's the two differences you were faced with, and you're like, no, I'll play those odds. I'll play those odds every day. Oh my God. It was so bad that Grigsby is praising him, and you may have literally paid her. You listen to the least popular people in the room on who's popular and who isn't. Expertly done. Get board certified again. It'll help you. Like, I'm sorry to hammer on this. I'm sorry to hammer on this, but we have to point out the grand irony of how this is going. We have 99 lawyers who all agree. And that's it. And that's it. You have 99 lawyers, one Renfamous, which to be fair is like 12 people, if we're doing metric units. And like a Mitchell Horton and a couple other random weirdos that can't find the pulse of anything. And that's who you believe. Rather than the tens of thousands of people who tell you on a nightly basis where the popularity goes. You could have read the comments on Vic's versus Monica's deposition tapes. Just read those. Could have just read the comments. You'd have known what to do. But you're so stuck up in here in your weird incel language whistles and all of that stuff. You're so stuck in that realm where you think you're brilliant and you think everybody who disagrees with you is a basement-dwelling incel. Lemoyne, I've seen your house. Buddy, you are not... I'm sorry. Like, you are not... whatchamacallit? You're not Hugh Hefner here. You're not rolling in the mansion. Like, calling people basement dwellers. A lot of these people make more money than you. And I mean a significant amount of this audience of incel virgins makes more money than you do as a 20-year lawyer at a big law firm. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be throwing out those insults. You don't have a grip on this situation. You haven't for a very long time. Whatever you think you're doing in the courtroom, I can guarantee you, you are not doing well in the public perception in the way that you think you are. The moment someone hears Vic, they immediately think, oh man, this guy got screwed over. The moment someone hears you, they go, I don't want to listen to another second of this. Thought this would go well if you put him on the stand, you flippin' idiot. $262,841. Thank you to Trey Lyles, Michael B, Sharon Grigsby, Robert Clark, and Tipsy T-Chan. Thank you all for donating. Thank you all for donating. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to that. Where did I put that article? Defense attorney Sean Lemoyne was unable to shake Mignogna from his earnestly delivered narrative, which is a shame because Lemoyne shakes more than Michael J. Fox. The voice actor trusted... I'm not even drinking. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Might need some punishment for that one. Get out the jack. Ty, if you're still there, I'm personally punishing myself by drinking Jack Daniels for that joke. All right. All right. You guys think it's because I'm on the liquor, but the secret is I'm always the liquor. I drank the America bourbon. That's gone and dead. Why do you like this? Why do you like it? Okay. The voice... to shake Mignogna from his earnestly delivered narrative. The voice actor trusted his lawyer so completely that he has never read the lawsuit filed on his behalf. He's never watched a minute of the YouTube screeds of a Minnesota lawyer who set up a GoFundMe legal campaign on his behalf. If only someone had warned them. If only someone out there had told them over and over and over again, Vic doesn't watch my show. Vic would probably hate what I say. Vic has only encouraged people to be nice, where I'm calling them fat every night. I'm insulting Vic's friends of decades on a nightly basis. He's probably not a fan of that if he knew about it. Vic doesn't watch my show. If only anybody had said that at all, they could be forgiven. He even maintained he doesn't know his own net worth. Do you? Show of hands, who knows their own net worth? I have like a vague idea, and only because I was at a thing where it was presented to me. But that was years ago. I don't know how it's changed now. Who actually knows their net worth? That's a tough question. You got to know the values of all your properties. I'm talking as a snooty. I have two because I just haven't sold the one yet, and I really want to. But that being said, that frustration aside, I don't know the assets in my bank account on any given day specifically. I don't know the value of any holdings that I may have. Who knows what your life insurance policy might be worth at any given moment. These are complicated questions that maybe Sharon and Jay Sean aren't familiar with how complicated it is to know net worth because maybe theirs is low. I don't know. Anyway, where do we go? Okay, so another picture of Vic and Ty. So there you go. And then there's Jay Sean. This is him in the background. Oh, that's a microphone in front of him. Okay, I thought he just had a Hitler mustache. Oh my gosh! It's the Lemon Fuhrer! God has deemed him the Lemon Fuhrer by providing this photo. Someone Photoshop an armband on that man. Why? Why is reality always better? Why is reality always better? No, come on. Klein. We're here today to address the VQ. That is the Vic question. I am hoping that Judge Chap will help us reach final solution. For too long, these Vics have gone around stealing our banks, stealing our diamonds, taking our jobs. We will not. I can't keep doing it. I can't. No. After the January premiere of his latest film, Dragon Ball Broly, Mignogna testified he quickly realized that people were again tweeting about his alleged misdeeds. Longtime allegations on social media have described the actor's aggressive kisses, hugs, and unwanted sexual advances. That's actually, this is not a fair characterization of what the longtime allegations against Vic are. Longtime allegations involve not signing yaoi hentai and not, and like stealing a projector and being rude to con staff, and they all came from one mentally handicapped, oversized jawed idiot. So here's the thing. If you say there are long-standing allegations against someone, they shouldn't all really date back to the same 10 people who have been saying the same things that have been ignored for a decade, right? Like the same 10 people saying the same lie for 10 years doesn't make it a long-standing allegation with any credibility. I was really scared, he said in court Thursday, but I felt like I had to do something. I'd seen this all spiraling so badly over a couple of months that I decided I had no other recourse to save whatever career or reputation I had left. Mignogna contended that before filing the lawsuit, he even considered asking the advice of fellow voice actor Monica Rial, one of the women he would eventually sue, along with Rial's fiancé Ron Toye, Jamie Markey, and Flower Mound-based Funimation. But then he recounted, Rial and Markey also tweeted about his behavior. It just kept getting worse, and it kept getting worse. I didn't feel I had any other choice, Mignogna said. Many of the question and answer sequences between Mignogna and Lemoine, punctuated by many objections by the voice actor's legal team and upheld by Chup, ended with little satisfaction for either side. Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Ty and company were satisfied with the hearing and how Vic performed. Oh, wait. I kind of do. I have heard that Vic's testimony went as well as it could go. That it was the same Vic that was at deposition. And the fact that Sharon Grigsby had to grudgingly write out that neither side had any satisfaction, I think the proof's right there in the pudding. That one side was satisfied and your side was not. Again, I don't know how Chup's gonna rule. That's a different question. But you know what's great? Every one of these quotes is being added to the record. Quotes from Vic. I didn't have any other choice. I was scared. It was spiraling so badly. I had to do something to save my career. Doesn't sound like a vindictive person. Doesn't sound like a vexatious litigant. Doesn't sound like someone filing for revenge. Sounds like someone begging the court to intervene on a meritorious lawsuit. Those quotes are now in the record for this case. Repeatedly, Lemoine asked, "Is it fair to say that you need to file a lawsuit to shut people up?" After answering the question several times with a polite but vehement no, Mignogna responded, "No, sir. They had been speaking out for months. There was no shutting anyone up." That's a good answer. How do you shut someone up in 2019? Think a lawsuit shuts them up? Vic didn't file for a protective order. Vic didn't file harassment. Vic didn't ask the court for a gag order on the other party. Vic didn't ask the court to have the other party stop defaming him. Vic has done absolutely zero to shut up the other side. Even if you want to be stupid and lump me in with Vic, all I have said the entire time is, please, God, talk about it. Please talk. Tell us. Show us. Bring us anything. Put out the evidence. Talk. Keep talking. I mean, I may have said, you might want to, your lawyer might want you to shut up, or, talking might not be the best legal strategy, but you have to talk to your lawyer. But I have said, please tell us, put out the evidence. Who's tried to silence them? No one. Not a single person has tried to silence them. You know who's most effectively silenced them is their counsel, who admitted to trying to silence them. Casey Eric. We tried to get him to stop tweeting, Your Honor. It's a dumb narrative. It's a dumb narrative that you can't uphold in court because there's no evidence for it. All right. Much of the Thursday hearing involved hours of dry, detailed testimony about the defense lawyer's bills, data points on reasonable rates, block billing, timekeepers, and timesheets. But once Mignogna took the stand, things got interesting. I've been writing about this case since August. Oh, all the way back then. Whew. But because he and his defense team never agreed to talk to me, this was my first time to hear him in person. This is, if you want to know, let me tell you about this paragraph right here. You want to know why that paragraph was written? Let's see. Reminder, she wrote this paragraph, or this article was published at 6:50 p.m. The court case went on past 4, I think past 4 o'clock hearing. Remember those emails I read to you? That email that was sent to the Dallas Morning News was sent at 2 p.m. And actually it might have been 1 p.m. Central. And the... oh, man. The email back came at 6:26 p.m. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, there. That's the best I can do. That's the best I can do. I'm so sorry to put that on the screen. You think Griffsby may have gotten a little bit of a question from her editor? Just 10 minutes before this article is published, responded to that email. He read it prior to this thing going live. Here's why I'm biased. It's not my fault I'm biased. They just won't talk to me. They just won't talk to me. It's not my fault. The 57-year-old voice actor was careful with his words, but mostly came across as authentic. As previewed in the defense lawyer's filings, the goal was to prove that Mignogna's claims were filed in bad faith, that he was aware that the cancellation of invitations to anime conventions was not caused by the defendants, and that the lawsuit, in tandem with the strategy of using a Minnesota lawyer as a hate megaphone... What up? Oh, man. Hate megaphone is good. I like that. Illustrated his vindictiveness. Mignogna acknowledged that he had no direct evidence related to who was behind the convention cancellations. I mean, that's not... I don't think that that's... I'm curious how he did that because I think there is direct evidence of the Kamehacon cancellation. That's pretty clear. In tandem... Oh, wait. But he said he believed they were linked to the defendants based on things I had heard at the time. Well, things he heard at the time may have been direct evidence, may not. Who knows? Who knows? But the defense team had far less success on their other 2 points. Less success than that? Oh, man. Look, oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just think of the picture that I cannot control being on the bottom of the screen as ad block for Viagra. That's what it is. Right there. Lemoyne questioned Mignogna again and again about whether he had hatched a plan with Minnesota lawyer Nick Rekieta for Mignogna to file the defamation lawsuit and Rekieta to follow up by creating the GoFundMe account. After many questions, Mignogna eventually conceded that he thanked Rekieta for setting up the account, but he denied any other involvement. I don't have control over one single penny of the account, he said. Oh, God. It took an entire Zuba's factory to make those pants. As of Thursday night, the GoFundMe page stood at about 262,000 from about 6,600 supporters. Well, as of Thursday night, let's see how it's doing now. Or I guess it's technically Friday morning, isn't it? Isn't it? Friday morning, we are at 262,986. That means we're up 1,000 from when we started, because it was at 261,986. We're up exactly $1,000. Thank you so much. Oh wait, did it go up? Did it go up? Do I have to refresh it in my other browser? I'll do it. You can't stop me. There it is. $263,006. Uh-oh. It just keeps on climbing. Thank you, Kevin Grethen, Brisket Broly, former JM fan, Kyle L, Joseph LaRocca, Trey Lyles, Michael B, Sharon Grigsby. These are ones we read earlier. Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. We're at $263,006. Okay. Shot time? What are you talking about? Trying to kill me? Trying to kill me? Ah! I forgot what was in the cup. 2 jacks, 1 cup. Refresh with Control F5, not just F5. Oh, that's a thing? Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Mignogna contended that he didn't feel great about Rekieta setting up the fund, but the lawyer told him, listen, you have a lot of people who care about you and feel like you are being wrongly accused and they want to help. Allow them to help. That was probably the only good sales pitch I ever did in my life. He also pointed out that he has no control over Rekieta's harsh language regarding the defendants. In one online commentary, Rekieta said, I think they're terrible people and I want to see them ground into dust. I guess all the other stuff was too spicy for the Dallas Morning News. Maybe that's the advantage. Like, oh God, we can't even print this. He's talking about fisting. Oh. I just assume Rekieta, does whatever he wants to do. Yep, I'm too old to take orders. Mignogna told the court, I'm not responsible for what Rekieta says. If only anybody had warned them that this was the real reality that they were walking into. If only someone had said it for months and months on end. Why did you think it was going to be different? You may project some front where you pretend that you think I'm lying. The unfortunate thing is, because they're your clients, I'm not. That's the really bad part about this, guys. Jay Sean Lemoyne, if Monica and Ron are truly his clients, know that I'm not lying about them. He knows it because he would ask them, look, I don't care. I don't like the guy. I don't care. Just tell me if it's true. And either they're lying to him or he's lying to the world. Because I haven't lied yet. At all. Not once. And it's shocking how over and over and over again that is backed up, while your client's narrative is not. And your narrative is routinely incorrect. Why is that? One of us is telling the truth. Makes it real easy for me. I don't have to lie. I don't have to remember. I just say what happened. Oh boy. My shorts are fashionable, Sam. I'll moderate you. Let's see. Asking whether he considers Rekieta a friend, Mignogna responded, I foolishly consider everyone I know a friend. Ah. 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 Here's the funny thing, y'all. Kick Vic has said, I haven't actually seen the tweets. Oh my God. This is more important than anything I'm about to say. Oh, oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. I did not do that. I did not make that. I do not have skills. My Photoshop, you know what mine would look like. It would be hand drawn all crooked. It would be all, well, mouse drawn all crooked. That's like dithered out. It looks natural. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh my goodness. What I was about to say is, I have seen or heard, I haven't actually seen the tweets, that the Kick Vic side is saying that I'm that Vic threw me under the bus or whatever. I mean, if Vic threw me under the bus with what's here, I threw me under the bus a long time ago. So I guess I won't send my elite social assassins to ruin Vic's career over the slight of my character. I foolishly consider everyone I know a friend. I think they may be reading into that statement to say that Vic doesn't like me, which may be true. I don't know. But what I'm going to counter with, maybe that statement means I considered the defendants to be my friend. And then I found out the truth about them. You can dance on my grave. I ain't in it at the moment. And if Vic hates me, I guess I'll find out the next time we happen to be at the same convention that Vic hates me. And I mean, that would be unfortunate. But I mean, I would understand if he wasn't happy with what I said about his friends. I'm not going to unsay it. There's a big problem with your little narrative. If Vic is throwing me under the bus and hates me and is so mad about what I do and doesn't like what I say, it's almost like I can't possibly be his agent. It's almost like your entire theory about what's going on was grossly incorrect. Because if it was correct, Vic would be on board with what I say and do. But here he is, according to you guys, throwing me under the bus. I'll have to live with that. But what's way worse than living with that is Lemoyne living with the fact that his theory was not only wrong, but I told him it was wrong almost daily for months. The fourth year telling the truth had a better grip on the narrative than the 20-year expert charging $300,000 for a lawsuit. That's pretty embarrassing, Jay Sean. I'm not gonna lie, buddy. That's pretty embarrassing. Throughout the day, Chup showed little patience with the defense team's efforts to link Rekieta and the GoFundMe account. Woo-hoo-hoo! We get to look at the GoFundMe again. To the issues before the court. At one point, the slightly exasperated judge asked the defense, "Why are we complaining about stuff that's on the internet? Let's try to get to something relevant." Remember, idiots, your entire dismissal is based on the fact that your internet talk isn't damaging. How can you be this brain dead? You morons have been gifted a victory by chupping in and chupping up. And the entire premise of your argument is that the internet words aren't important enough for a court to consider. That's the whole premise. That's everything. That's everything. In your entire argument is distilled down to, here's all the words that they said on the internet. Yeah, but they're not defamatory and damaging. That's all of it. And you go into a hearing after winning on that distilled theory, and then you argue that words on the internet matter for you. Why? Why would you do this? How do you not see how ineffective your reasoning is? How do you not get there? It's pretty obvious. Like, your entire argument relies on the fact that either what you said on the internet was just an opinion that couldn't have possibly damaged him because it was an opinion, or that it just didn't damage him and something else damaged him, or that because he's a public figure, he can't be damaged by the words on the internet, or that the words on the internet weren't defamatory at all for any other number of reasons. And then you go in there and complain over and over about words on the internet. My God, if I was in that courtroom, I would have stood up and said, "Your Honor, their entire premise is that words on the internet don't matter. They said so in court." The entire TCPA hearing is them saying, yeah, all of these words were said, but they didn't do any damage to him. Something else magical did. And here they are saying that somehow these words on the internet, these words trip the magical formula of mattering when no other words that have decidedly destroyed a career didn't matter. These words that are just about a lawsuit and have clearly had no direct impact on the defendants and no direct impact on the outcome of the lawsuit, somehow these matter. I couldn't rant my way into Vic winning. So my words must not matter, right? Your client's words destroyed a career. My words didn't destroy anybody. You've got brave women who are doing great and they're strong and they're banding together against the hateful incel abuse. All of that, none of that has affected them in any way. They're the tough, strong women who've overcome the adversity. And you're going to go into court and act like me, yelling at a video camera that they don't have to watch, you didn't have to watch, but you're trying to get other people to pay you to watch it. That somehow matters. I mean, cool theory, bro. Why did you think this was going to work on Chup? He flat out indicated that he doesn't care about words on the internet. But you thought he would now? Okay. Aramin says, "Hey, Nick. Here, Nick, take some more money." Hey, thank you. I've not needed my Netflix subscription for months because of your content. Also, what's been your favorite plot twist in this whole situation? The part where Lemoyne is Hitler and God has ordained it so through that photo. That's my favorite plot twist so far. Also, the Huber double switchback reach around, whatever he's doing, has been a really interesting one to watch. I don't even know where it's going, so I can't call it my favorite, but it's the most confusing and baffling. Woodman Gaming says, "Here's a 20 for the hilarious piss take today from the defense." Absolutely hilarious. Hey, thanks, buddy. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, where are we? Yeah, let's try to get to something relevant. Oh, Chop, you cut me deep. Cut me deep. The sanctions and fees filings on behalf of Markey, Rial, and Toye reference the damage to their lives since the lawsuit was filed. Reduction in recording and convention work. Huh. You mean when you engage in a public controversy in a public way that people don't want to associate with you as often in a business professional setting? That's weird. That's weird. Again, why? Who thought that it would be a good idea to jump into a Me Too thing in a public way? Like for your career, that would be a good thing. A net positive is getting involved in a public controversy with your personal name out there. You know what it's good for? I mean, it's good for people like me, right? Drama channels on YouTube. You can look at Keemstar and Drama Alert, and you can look at other people who comment on public things as commentators. You know, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Mark Levin, Joe Scarborough, oh God, Mika Brzezinski. You can look at all of those people, the Young Turks. I'm trying to balance it out with leftists and rightists. You can look at all of those people. It benefits them because their job is public controversy and commentary on it. Kind of like mine. Doesn't benefit someone who wants to work for a company, though. Doesn't benefit Rial and Markey. You can try and blame this on other people, but no one dragged you guys into this. You dragged Vic into this and then just starfished out online and allowed the reaming of your careers to take place. What were you thinking? Reduction in recording and convention work, harassment, doxing, and death threats, online attacks, and smear campaigns. Y'all have done all that. Y'all being the defendants. Stop pretending. Those concerns were hardly referenced during Thursday's hearing. Wow, why wouldn't they? I thought Jay Sean was a great trial lawyer. Regular Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. He's gonna go in there and run roughshod because trial keeps him sharp. I thought my brain would never recover after I got brain AIDS from a mosquito. But it did because I went to trial. Trial makes me great. I'm great at it. All right. Where my con sluts at? Where my con sluts at? Yeah, by the way, your clients enlisted the assistance before they got a Duchette and before they got a Grifsby. They enlisted the assistance of Shane Holmberg, who doxed them. Shane Holmberg doxed Jamie Markey. Good job. Good job. George Disorder says, you missed my last super chat, bruh. No, I just do the 20s first and we go back to the others, so that the show isn't interrupted as often. But so I'll add 15 to make it around 20 total, which is, of course, why I'm entertaining you now. Check your email. I sent you something. Ooh, I have seen my email flashing. What do we got here? Oh no, it's it's similar. It's different. The reason I'm showing it right now is because there's a real subtle improvement. A real subtle improvement for the chat. Look at the hair. Oh, it's good. That's good. I can't take it. Oh man, I don't know why. I don't know why the Lemon Führer. I don't know why I'm surprised that the Lemon Führer is wearing a Nazi armband at the court. But I am surprised. I just thought he would do better. It's 2019 after all. I just thought he would do better. Here we go. All right, back to it. So who knows how they will figure into Chupp's decision making? He may well decide that although the plaintiff didn't meet the bar for winning this lawsuit, that doesn't mean any sanctions are in order. Yeah, he actually can do that. Now I want to address something I saw on Kiwi Farms. There was someone suggesting that Mr. Martinez was referencing an older version of the TCPA in his argument that the judge is not that the judge does not have to award sanctions. I want to clear something up. The reason they bring that up is because that's what the Wick Phillips counsel said, I believe, was that he's referencing an old version of TCPA, and then Chupp says, I got to look it up. I think I have to award sanctions. That's only partly true. Martinez is correct. It is within the trial court's discretion, and Lemoyne knows this, by the way. It's within the trial court's discretion to award nominal to even zero sanctions if they determine that sanctions are not required to deter another lawsuit. Because that's the purpose of sanctions at the TCPA. The sanctions, the whole goal of the sanctions is to deter a similar lawsuit. And there have actually been trial courts who, in their discretion, have awarded little to zero in sanctions, little to no sanctions. And it has been upheld at the appellate court level, citing the discretionary language in the statute, saying that the court has discretion because it's to deter a lawsuit and as justice requires. That gives the judge discretion on reasonable attorney's fees and on sanctions. The judge does not have to award all attorney's fees, only what the court determines to be reasonable attorney's fees and sanctions for the purpose of deterring a future lawsuit that is similar, a future frivolous lawsuit or whatever. So, Martinez was correct. He was not being sleazy. That was how he was being characterized on the Kiwi Farms. And I just wanted to politely talk about why he's able to make that argument in full good conscience and full good faith and under either reading of either the new statute of TCPA or the old statute on TCPA. They both have that mitigating language. Actually, the new statute is a little more flexible, but the courts in Texas have upheld zero sanction ratings, zero sanction awards for those purposes. Trial courts get huge discretion because they're the ones seeing the evidence, talking to the parties and all that. The appellate court, the parties don't talk. There's no depositions. Well, there could be depositions added to the record, but it's probably going to be the deposition transcript. They're not going to have the defendants and plaintiffs in front of them to talk. Like Monica and Jamie aren't going to be there weeping in the appellate court hearing or whatever. I mean, I guess it could. Yeah, that doesn't mean any sanctions are in order. Featured at the top of the defense filing on behalf of Rial and Toye was a photograph of Mignogna, Rekieta, and Mignogna attorney Ty Beard posing with their cigars at an anime Matsuri convention this year. Hose mad. Hose mad. That's the epitome of hose maddery. I think I forgot to go to the GoFundMe last time it was mentioned. And even if I didn't, we're doing a Control F5, $263,031. Thank you to Matthew Mark. Now, if only Luke and John will contribute. Itchy Ron, Bad Dragonite, and Rodrigo Diaz. Thank you so much. That is the Hose Mad pick. Hose Mad 2019 right there. Okay. Underneath the photo is a quote in which Beard, just after Chupp's October 4th dismissal of the final claim, said, "What I'm saying is we have already won a victory." They should emphasize the A because they're trying to make it out to say we've already won victory, which is not true. The only question is how big of a victory we are going to win, which implies that there's more victory to come. or less, I guess more or less victory on the horizon, implying it's not final. This, of course, is part of their dumb theory that Ty was proclaiming a total victory after losing, which is not true. Very, very silly to assume that that's what was happening on that show. Very obviously stating that these guys tried to ruin Vic's life. I personally believe that they knew how this would affect Vic. They knew that the depression would be onset from it, and that they knew that there was a high potential that Vic would consider very dark trips to Greenland in Minecraft. I contend that they knew that, because I think that you do get to know someone over 20 years, and that they knew there was a risk that trying to cut him off from his fan base would be dangerous to his health, and that they did it anyway. The victory is that Vic is still alive, and not only alive, but Vic has started getting work since he filed the lawsuit. He has gained work. He has gained work. Again, for all of the really brilliant lawyers out there on Law Twitter talking about how this has unequivocally ruined Vic's career and reputation, Vic gained work when he fought back. You know why? Because the people he's gaining work from have known him for decades, and he makes them money, and he doesn't do the things that the defendants say he did, and they've talked to him, and they interact with him, and they go, this isn't a guy who does this. We don't get these, we hear that these complaints exist at all of these conventions, yet every convention owner we talk to, they've never heard of this. That's why he got work when he fought back and said it wasn't true, you ingrates. What? What? Again, I can't fault them for their faulty judgment on anything relating to how people interact in a business setting. Because if they're on Twitter all day and Twitter is not their literal job, they're probably not doing their literal job. If they're in bankruptcy, might not be the most successful attorney with loads of clients who's good at convincing people to do things like pay them. Maybe not. Maybe it's something else. Maybe he's funding orphanages in the Congo. I don't know, but these people do not have a grasp on interpersonal relationships. They don't have a grasp on what is publicly popular. They don't know how to market themselves. They don't know how to attract audiences. And they certainly don't seem to indicate that they have any knowledge of how a voice actor might land a convention gig. So long as there's not a cabal putting pressure on the convention owner. There's the difference. There's the difference in all of this. Vic stood up and fought back. Convention people who have known him for years said, I mean, I didn't think you had done this, but until you fought back, how was I supposed to bring you to my show? What if you did it? Of course I didn't do it. Well, yeah, I see that now. Thought it was weird. Glad to have you. Glad to have you to the show. But he's worse off now. Yeah. He's worse off than when all of the conventions had canceled him, except for like 2. Matsuri and I think maybe just Matsuri at that point. He's better off. He was better off then, right? Because he was definitely going to come back to Funimation and Rooster Teeth. Oh, and we are getting to Rooster Teeth. Oh boy, have they had a boo-boo of a day. All right. The defense filing contends that the victory was the avalanche of vitriol directed at victims and critics. Literally the opposite was said. You tried to destroy him and you didn't. The defendant's lawyers want to see Chup pop Mignogna hard enough to deter him from any future unsubstantiated lawsuits. My understanding is that Chup may have indicated that he doesn't think this lawsuit was unsubstantiated. He hinted at that on the November 8th hearing when he said, I don't think they knew it was frivolous or meritless when they filed it. I don't think they thought that. I don't think they knew that. I don't think Chup thinks this lawsuit was unsubstantiated. I think Chup thinks that the defendants got a win based on a rule. That's kind of been indicated in his words. And I would be surprised to find out that that's not what he said when we get the transcript of this thing. What? Hold on. Mild thing, I gotta make sure. Whoa. Okay, I'll have to respond to that in a little bit. Sorry. I try not to take personal messages, but that one was a professional message that will need addressing. Okay, back to this. Now it's up to Chup to decide. Even though Mignogna didn't win, was he negligent or acting in bad faith? We'll likely get that answer before the weekend. Before the weekend. All right. So that's where this is devastating, in my opinion, to the other side. If they have not realized that Sharon Grigsby has been firmly planted in their corner, in their dark, disgusting, cobweb-filled corner this entire time, taking photos of the women crying together, staged photos, mind you, where they went to a specific place, ginned up their tears, all together holding hands right for the photo. These are not organic tears. These are all of the Caro syrup tears you can muster from these people. Taking that highly staged photo, indicating that you should stay away from them because they're not one of us, to someone who is ironically on Vic's side because she thought that he wasn't. Sharon Grigsby is firmly in the defendant's pocket. And this is the article she wrote? Oh boy. Whoa boy. I mean, you might as well play a funeral march for how the hearing went if this is the indicator. And I don't know. I wasn't there. All I have to go on from my secondhand story is a clearly biased piece of information. Grigsby was there and wrote this. That is not good. Hey, good night, Ty. That is not good. Not a good look for their side. So, I'm not going to sing the praises of the hearing. I don't know how it went. I wasn't there. I'm more concerned with the ruling that Chup says he's going to issue tomorrow, or that he may issue tomorrow. I want to know what that means. I want to know what it says. I'm pessimistic. I'm absolutely pessimistic about the outcome. I think you all should be too. Don't get your hopes up. We've seen how Chup has treated the case so far. I have no indication on why he would treat it differently. I hope he does, but I don't have anything to go off of other than hope. So, I'm tempering my expectations. I'm expecting a bad result. I've expected a bad result on the fees and sanctions the whole time. They're little glimmers where I hope they could turn something around, but I don't expect Chup to do it. I think Chup wants this out of his courtroom, and him indicating that he's going to issue a ruling tomorrow makes me think that he already knows what he's going to do prior to this hearing. So I don't know if the hearing will impact it, but it is fun to see that they seemingly had a pretty bad day. The defendants had a pretty bad day. Now she doesn't, and if you want to know, here's an indication, okay? Here's an indication. This is not Vic versus Jay Sean Lemoyne. This is not Vic versus Monica Rial and Toya. You want to know who's paying Grigsby how unbiased Grigsby is? There are 2 other parties at this lawsuit. John Volney took the stand today. So did Sam Johnson. Did you guys know from that article that not only did John Volney and Sam Johnson show up and make arguments, they were questioned on cross-examination by Martinez? Did you have any idea that that happened? So was Jay Sean, by the way. This article is explicitly about Lemoyne versus Vic. That's it. Sam Johnson was there. You want to know how that testimony against Lemoyne went? How much are you charging for this? $280,000, Your Honor. That is a lot. How much did the other party charge? $170,000. Okay, you're like an expert, though. What about that other guy? How much did he charge? $50,000. Did he charge a fifth as much as you? He was here. He wanted the hearing. He did. I don't think he said he did better, but that's the implication. He wanted the hearing straight out. Why did it cost him 50 grand and you 280? I had a lot of Kleenex after watching so much YouTube. Oh my God. But was that in the article? No, that was just that boring billing stuff, right? Literally the entire purpose of the hearing is actually the billing that they did. Sharon Grigsby chose to make a narrative of Vic Mignogna versus Jay Sean Lemoyne. Talking about me, talking about the GoFundMe. Not the, like, the real thing that matters is what's in the billing, what's a reasonable attorney's fee. Sam Johnson, John Volney were not only there, but actually testified. Pretty sure they're not even mentioned in the article. Are they? Volney? Nope. Johnson? Nope. Markey? Oh, they mentioned Markey as part of the group. They mention Rial and Markey tweeting about him because that was Vic's quote. And and then they mention the filings of Markey, Rial, and Toye. You don't even mention their lawyers being there. Grigsby, work harder to make it look like you're not being literally paid by a particular party. God, that'd be great discovery. Can you show the check blanks that you delivered to Sharon on behalf of Sharon Grigsby to the Dallas Morning News? Okay, so let's talk real quick about the appeal, what the ruling means. So Chup seemed and this is my personal theory as well, but I've seen a couple people ask about the appeal. So let's talk about the appeal. Chup indicated at the November 8th hearing that he's not sure how the appeals court will look at the at his order and whether or not he'll have jurisdiction over to make this attorney fee thing and all that stuff. And Chup then comes into this hearing and says he's going to issue a ruling tomorrow. My thoughts on that are simple. Chup thinks if I rule on this tomorrow, the jurisdiction question, the JQ, goes away. Goes away. If he rules on the sanctions and fees, this thing is done. The motions are done. He said that to Lemoyne. Aren't the sanctions and fees part of your motion, your TCPA motion to dismiss? Then I haven't ruled on everything until I've ruled on the sanctions and fees, right? That's what he's indicated. So once he rules on that, it's done. It leaves his jurisdiction and goes to the appeals court at that point. And this weird fight over whether or not this is properly before the appeals court vanishes. And I don't think Chup cares who's on the winning side of that so much as he doesn't want to cause complications for either side. Chup doesn't want to be the reason that Vic misses an appeal window. Chup doesn't want to be the reason that Lemoyne has to argue that an appeal is proper or not and incur costs on behalf of his client. If he rules tomorrow, then the appeal is ripe and they can just go ahead with the file number that they have already. So my theory is that that is a big part of why Chup is ruling tomorrow. Let's eliminate this jurisdiction question because I don't want to sit and hear about it. I don't want to hear whining about it. I don't want the appeals court to kick this back to me only for me to finish up a ruling and have it kicked back to them. This obviates all of that. It's done if Chup just issues a ruling. So that's my opinion on why I think the ruling's coming tomorrow, or why I think his statement that the ruling is coming tomorrow is probably accurate, and why I think he's motivated to do it in that way. $263,141. We have a couple anonymous donations. Thank you so much for those donations. As for the Funimation stuff, Ty is not in the chat anymore. And this is some... It's been said that I am the puppet master driving this lawsuit, which could not be further from the truth. Many times I have to sit with gritted teeth, balled up hands, wanting something else. The TCPA hearing was a nightmare to attend because I could not stand up and cite to evidence that I knew existed, my opinions on what was important. I couldn't do that. I'm not part of the team. I'm not on the team. I don't have any say over the tactical or legal strategy. So the Funimation stuff, name on the Casey Eric thing was brought up at the hearing, which is very important. Very important that it's on the record. And that means the appeals court has the ability to look into it. Did they press the issue? Not as hard as I would have. Because I would have made it the whole issue myself. And that might be the wrong decision. So I want to make that very clear. This is just a tactical or strategic difference of opinion. And I'm also not at the hearing. So they're judging Judge Chup's reaction. They're gauging where they are in the hearing, what else is going on, what other goals they may want to accomplish. And I'm not part of that. So I can't say it. All I know is that if it were me, I would have opened with right away, out the gate. Your Honor, they lied in their depositions under oath. That's perjury. Their lawyer allowed them to lie under oath. That's suborning perjury. They tried to cover it up. That's another lawyer perjuring himself in papers that he's filing to the court representing that they are truthful, and through his redactions tried to perjure himself as well. We need no fees, Your Honor. That's my approach. I don't know if that's right. I don't care. It doesn't matter. That's where I believe I differ with Vic's team on the approach to this particular hearing. And, if you ever wanted evidence that I'm not running the show, there you go. There you go. However, it was brought up. It was a thing that was brought up. It is on the record, and it can be addressed on appeal. I heard that they requested the unredacted billing and were denied the unredacted billing. Chup may have reasons for doing that, but that's something that may come up on appeal as well. That might be an abuse of discretion. He may not be able to prevent them from having unredacted billing on the evidence there. So, you do what you do. And after getting the request for the unredacted billing denied, they may have determined that it's tactically not prescient to go after the perjury as hard, especially because it's behind redacted sections. May not have been beneficial to go after it in the moment. I don't know. Again, That's one of those things where they have their strategy that they've developed. These are all very smart attorneys working together. I'm just one guy Monday morning quarterbacking. And in my brain, I think I would have done it differently. If I had all the information they do, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. But it was brought up, and so it is preserved for appeal. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see how that goes. That said, let me speak to this point. Let's get up close. Let me speak to this point very specifically, and you guys draw your own conclusions. Casey Eric and Andrea Perez have been present at every single hearing. Every hearing in this case. Lemoyne's running the show. Casey Eric and Andrea Perez are there. TCPA, they don't say a word. They sit in the audience. Casey Eric and Andrea Perez are there. They billed for all the hearings. They attended all the hearings. Except this one. Except this one. Every hearing except this one. Now, if they're at the hearing, hey, let's find out about this Funimation thing, shall we? Why don't you come up to the stand and testify about it? So, did their clients perjure themselves? Did Casey and Andrea suborn perjury? Did Lemoyne cover up for it? Lemoyne can't attest to why that name is Funimation on the bill. I don't know if they did or not. Maybe it's just a weird system error. I think Mike Dunford has cock in mouth made an excuse for it. Of course. I mean, I'm not surprised by any of that. But they have been at every single hearing. They're still employed. They're still billing. They're still earning money. Except the one when they might be questioned about their clients perjuring themselves and them allowing it to happen. Maybe that's just a coincidence that those two were both, look, they're both sick that day or whatever. They had no notice of the hearing. Casey, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing? You were supposed to be the chosen one! So I don't know. I don't know if they did it. I sure as hell think they did it. But that issue's preserved for appeals. And on appeal, I mean, there's not really testimony. So I guess they'll just have to go off what's on the documents. And what the lawyers argue in their oral arguments. That's interesting. Prayers for Nick is trending on Twitter right now. Okay. Here we go. $263,161. Gawker's death rattle. Thank you. Oh, hey, I'm supposed to show you guys that. There we go. Let's talk Rooster Teeth. Let's talk Rooster Teeth. Let me find this. This is by Austin NBC affiliate KXAN. Go. Rooster Teeth vice president arrested after wife alleges brutal abuse, strangulation. Huh. Do we have a theme? Do we have a theme here? What is up with... Did he use the universal remote? By Alyssa Gord. In an arrest warrant, the wife of a vice president at Austin-based company Rooster Teeth alleges that her husband brutally attacked her on November 8th during the hearing, and that the attack was part of a pattern of years of abuse. Just years, though. Just years of abuse from this guy, who I assume is involved in firing Vic. Michael Quinn. Let's see. The warrant states that the Travis County Sheriff's Office believes that Michael Jonathan Quinn, 39, committed family violence through aggravated assault, a second-degree felony. This document was filed on November 13th, and Quinn was arrested on November 18th. Well, let's just take a little peek. Austin. Oh, wait, no. Travis County, Texas. Court records. Criminal courts. I want to find case information for felony cases. Can we do this online? Find a case number. I don't see a case number. Person search. Quinn. Michael. Filing year 2019. Wait. Search. I don't know if we've got a filing. Oh, Michael Jonathan Quinn. Here we go. Details. Pre-indictment. Arrest documents. Oh, dang it. 7 to 10 business days to process. I'll see if we can get them. I can't easily grab them right now. It's 7 to 10 days. But here's what I can give you right now. The online case information from the Travis County pre-indictment state versus Quinn. We've got an event date. There was a letter on the 20th. The 19th, we have an order of commitment and an emergency protective order. On the 18th, warrant returned executed. On the 9th, affidavit of warrant of arrest and a municipal warrant. So they picked him up. He's been committed to the jail, and there's an emergency protective order probably preventing him from further beating his wife and endangering their child. So that's where we're at. Let me see. I got to try and find those documents. Find those documents. Oh boy. Can the appeals court request the unredacted billing to evaluate it better since it was brought? More importantly, they can order it. Okay, here we go. Let's see. The affidavit details Quinn's wife account of the incident that led her to speak up to law enforcement. Quinn's wife said in the affidavit that he works at Rooster Teeth Productions as the VP of Product and Engineering. A LinkedIn account also lists a Michael Quinn in Austin as the Vice President of Product and Engineering, stating that Quinn had served in that role for 3 years and 9 months. KXAN has reached out to Rooster Teeth for comment on this arrest and is awaiting a response. Look, KXAN, you're going to have to wait for them to finish beating their wives. A Texas Department of Public Safety search did not show any prior criminal background for Quinn in the state of Texas. The allegations of assault and abuse. A detective with the Travis County Sheriff's Office explained in court records. Law enforcement first got involved when a woman walked into the Westlake Police Department, reporting that she had been violently assaulted by her husband in her home. Police called EMS and she was taken to the hospital. This is how you file a proper report about abuse. You go to the police. They will take you for an examination. They can document the evidence with photos and tests. It's amazing. Hold on. What is this? Oh, why would you send this to me? Not now. Okay. Anyway. Let's see. Sheriff's deputies who met with her at the hospital described her as visibly shaken up and unsure if she wanted to go through with giving a statement because she knows her husband is going to kill her and her daughter. That's nice. This is who these people are. This is who these people are. The deputies reported that she had bruising, inflammation, and pain all over her body. She told the deputies that she'd been assaulted by her husband for several years, including prior strangulations. She never reported the prior assaults. The deputies said she told them her husband has control over her finances and where she goes. This is the hard reality of spousal abuse, which is very different from non-spousal abuse, mind you. It's much easier for someone who does not have someone in control over their finances to go to the police. I want to point out that this woman had to take the hardest step in reporting abuse, knowing that if he finds out she's in danger of dying, so is their daughter in danger of dying, knowing that this guy has control over all of her money, and if she reports him and she's not able to get that money, how's she going to eat? How's she going to live? Knowing that he has control over where she goes. Maybe that means he's monitoring her via, an app on her phone. Maybe all sorts of things. This is what she had to do. Do you know what Monica and Jamie would have had to do? None of that. Not a shred of it. Because Vic had literally zero control over them or their careers or their lives. If what they said was true, all they had to do was pick up a phone leisurely from the bathtub, watching Friends. It doesn't matter. They didn't have to walk in beaten into a police station. Let's see. On November 8th, she told the deputies that she came home from work to find her husband at home after a night of partying. She said he began verbally berating her, then punching her despite her cries for him to stop. She recalled her husband laughing at her as she cowered in pain. She said her husband pointed a handgun at her head, but soon after told her, "If I'm going to kill you, I'm going to use my hands." What a gem of a human Michael Quinn seems to be. What an absolute gem. Quinn's wife recalled trying to run away, but he crushed her hand in the door as she attempted to exit. She reported that her husband continued punching her and hit her in the head with a 3-hole punch. Big man. Big, strong man, this one. Do you see that? Look at this. Look at this big bruiser. What's this guy look like? Not just his mugshot. Michael Quinn, Rooster Teeth. Do we have a picture of him? Yep. Here we go. Here we go. Too bad we missed this. This Ask Me Anything on this. But look at that. Look at this. Look at this stunning display of abject masculinity exuding from Rooster Teeth here. Here it is. This thing in the middle. That pinnacle, peak manhood right there. We are Rooster Teeth engineering. Ask us anything, r/Rooster Teeth. Why do you beat your wife and threaten to murder her and your daughter? Wouldn't that have been a good question? It's a good thing he's not gay, because stereotypical in-shape gay guy would have just pounded the hell out of him. And I don't mean in the good way. I hate people like this. Oh boy! Look at how confident he looks there. Good job. Look at those eyes. Whew. Red. All right. Eventually, she said her husband strangled her until she lost consciousness. How terrifying is that, right? He's beating you, says he's going to kill you with his hands, strangles you into losing consciousness. You don't know if you're going to wake up, right? As the black is fading in around your eyes and you're losing consciousness, you literally don't know if you're going to come back. And you don't know if your daughter is going to get the same treatment. That's what this cockbag is doing. Like, this is, yeah. Her husband bit her. When she comes to, though. So then she comes back. He bites her and pushes her to the ground, talking to her more about how he's going to kill her. It was a death grip. I thought I was going to die, she told the deputies. After a while, she said her husband grew exhausted and eventually walked away. Quinn's wife said she immediately went to report the assault. He got tired of beating her. Court records show that an emergency protective order was issued barring Quinn from contacting or going near his wife and several other people. Quinn has also been barred from possessing a firearm. On the night of November 18th, online records showed that Quinn had been arrested and booked into Travis County Jail with a bond set at $100,000. Not enough. Not enough. That's 10 grand that he has to put up. Travis County Sheriff's Office explained that he was released on personal recognizance bond on November 20th. This guy is obviously a danger to the community. He should not be released at that piddly amount. TCSO said the detective is not willing to publicize any details of his active investigation at this time. Has Monica Rial ever tweeted about Michael Quinn? Or tagged him? Oh, God. That would be amazing. Let me check something. What? No. Look it up live. Monica Rial says Michael Quinn is a good man. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up on my banned Twitter account. Oh wait, I can't look it up on my banned account. I have to go incognito. Oh, I can't search on that. Let's see. Yeah, I can't find it. I'm too banned. I'm too banned and blocked. Flash, can you DM it to me? Can you DM me a link? I can go to a link on an incognito tab. I just can't do the search. You can't search incognito, I don't think. Maybe, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Oh, you're saying she supports it by not speaking out. Let's see. Let's see if we got anything. I'm not seeing anything specifically about Quinn on here. But yeah, she hasn't spoken out about it. Let's see. Okay. Hold on, I'm checking one other thing here. I'm checking who she was talking to at Rooster Teeth. All right. I was hoping there was an email to him, but no, it's just her with Matt Hullum. So. All right. Yeah, I found it. I found out how to search. There's just, she doesn't say anything about it. Let's see. Wonder if anybody else did. Does Michael Quinn even have a Twitter account? Not really loving your death by media, but don't trust media standards? What are you talking about? Okay. All right, back to where are we? Oh wait, we had finished the story. I was hoping to find emails between her and Quinn, but I don't see any. I don't see any. No social media besides LinkedIn. That's too bad. That's too bad. I would love to see them denounce Michael Quinn and Rooster Teeth. You'd love to see Rooster Teeth denounce Michael Quinn. Has Rooster Teeth said anything? Let's see. Rooster Teeth. Whoops. If I could spell, that'd be great. They have their whole like blog thing here. They want to make a comment about it. Blog. Remember, Rooster Teeth fired Vic Mignogna in a blog post. This was 3 days ago that this occurred. It was reported on the 8th. He was apparently arrested on the 18th. Rooster Teeth hasn't fired this guy in a blog post yet. I'll show you their blog page. Here it is. Rooster Teeth Extra Life raises over 1.2 million in 24 hours. That was November 11th. November 16th. Designing new outfits. October 20th. How did this is out of order. November 16th and November 11th. See if we can get to articles. God, I hate blogs. Yeah. Nothing about him being fired. Oh, God. Off there. Anyway. I mean, I shouldn't expect consistency. They've yet to even mention it. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I was just hopeful that someone out there would have integrity. 263,181. We've got Oliver Tyndall. Thank you. And Gawker's Death Rattle. Thank you for contributing, as well as Anonymous. You guys are fantastic. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's out of here. So that's the happenings of today. We have a hearing. We have a Grifsby article. We have we have a ruling coming presumably tomorrow. That's what's been indicated. And we have Rooster Teeth executive just going ahead and trying to murder his wife. But just trying and threatening to murder her. That's all. That's all. It's fine. I just... oh, wait. Let's see. Woodman Gaming says, secondarily, when you get a chance, shoot me a text back and we can chat sometime about the contents. All hail the Lemon Fuhrer. Yes, buddy. Yes, I will text you back. I got your message earlier. Jospy says, I have to break up with my crosswords distributor, so have some of his money instead. Well, thank you. Thank you. I hope this is for a better cause. So... Is that really his Twitter account? Hold on. I'll look it up. Oh, is this him? Yeah. Here he is. I'll pull him up here. This is me, Mike Quinn, Austin, Texas, joined December 2008, so it's probably not some sort of meme thing. And Rooster Teeth, retweeting Jeremy is streaming Spyro for the next 20 minutes from Rooster Teeth Live from the Extra Life event. This is back in 2018. He's not active on this at all. But this does appear to be his... Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't look at his tweets and replies. It does not appear to be active. Last public tweet that's not a reply is 10th of December 2018. So he only has 29 total tweets. So there you go. It's yeah. Got pictures of his kids. There's pictures of his daughter. I'm not going to pull them up, but because I'll be accused of putting them in danger when he's literally trying to kill their mother. Anyway, allegedly. Strong evidence suggests that'd be a big lie to go into the police, to file a police report, to have them document the strangulation, the bruising, the swelling, and to then file that out. But maybe he's got a good defense. We'll see. We'll see what it is. I'll see if I can get the documents. I'm very, very curious about what that is. So anyway, let's read through the super chats that are remaining and the justice chats that are remaining. And then we will call this stream a night. I will be on Twitch tonight for a little bit. So come hang out on Twitch. Thought Top is at the ready. Thought Top is at the ready. Thank you for hanging out. If you do leave during the super chats, I do appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I will, if there is a ruling tomorrow, I will have a great show for you. Good ruling or bad, I'm going to have a great show for you tomorrow that will cover the ruling. If there's a ruling. The only reason we won't cover the ruling tomorrow is if there is no ruling. All right? There's a ruling tomorrow. You will hear about it here. And I'm working on a good spot about the ruling. So, but the ruling has to happen. I can't make the ruling occur to make the show, but we'll have a good show either way. We'll specifically have a ruling show if it happens, good, bad, whatever. And then we will talk about, is this final? Is there some other thing? What's the next step? What happens? Where do we go? What is, because all of you want to know when the appeals are happening. I do too. We can't know anything until that ruling comes out. So that being said, come hang out with me tomorrow if you want. Now let's hit these chats. A concerned citizen says, Kappa, don't do anything child friendly and definitely don't do anything that isn't child friendly. There's a little gray area in there. That's where you are monetized. Or, you know, parents could actually control their kids online. You know, they could, but they don't. Marty Lund says, Librarian Wetzler should be able to equip a proper force sword and psionic hood now. Teach the neophytes well, the Emperor protects. Oh, I wanted to check and see how that was doing. Just as an aside. Oh my gosh. Last thing. He's at $8,713. Thank you to Bryce Douglas, Ryan Conley, James Cox, perfect name, Brad Holm, Aaron Rogers, Andre Chira, Josh Villalobos, Anthony Brungart, Anonymous, Anthony Antoine, Carl 100 Steiner, Anonymous, Michael Kelly, Church of Failure, Andrew Jackson, coming in with Old Hickory, Anonymous, Joshua Novak, Anonymous, Patch Johnson, Anonymous, Jessica Waters, Andres Kasarowski, Joshua Durbin, William Stevenson, Michael Downey, Cody Sinclair, and the chat. This is where we left off yesterday. Thank you guys so much. I mean, just amazing. I don't know what to say. I'm not going to have an emotion on stream, but I'm close. Okay, back to it. Tinley says, I want to do a PSA to chat. Humble Bundle is having a Monogatari series bundle at the moment. With $20, you get 16 light novels, 2 manga, and 2 audiobooks, plus some other stuff. Also, the Voices of Heresy bundle is on for 5 more days, so grab them quick. The Voices of Heresy bundle is $18 or something like that, and you get a ton of Black Library audio. And if you want to know what's expensive, buy the Black Library audio. And it's really well done. It's really well done with proper voice acting and storytelling. These are not just books being read by a weirdo. They're books being read by weirdos with dramatic effect. It's really good. So yeah, definitely head over to Humble Bundle and check that out. Crusader Saracen says, what's your more preferred film, Prince of Egypt or Charlton Heston's 10 Commandments? Anyone who answers Prince of Egypt needs to get Charlton Heston. Mercenary X says, I can tell you why reality is so much better. When it comes to laughs, it's because God has a sense of humor, and he is a troll that makes the likes of 4chan, 8kun, and the farms jealous with the levels of subtle trolling he pulls off. Too much fun? Agree? I do. SF Giants fan Mike says, good night. Catch the rest tomorrow. Oh, excuse me. Catch you later, buddy. Thanks for joining. We've got JXDBX. Thanks for streaming on Saturday. By the way, will the case slow down when it hits the appeals court? It should. I gotta stop talking about it. I have more characters. I highly suggest everyone switch to a Linus OX. I recommend Linux Mint. A lot of games have support plus Proton. There you go. Agrilith says, when Sharon Grigsby is saying Vic is authentic, poop is going down. Kiwi Goes Live says, hello, I'm Jay Sean Lemoyne, and welcome to my TED Talk on con sluts through the ages. Freighter J says, free chat, suck me my penis. Penis. Suck me my penis. Ooh. Tragic Toe says, I want to go to your class now. That sounds fun. I think it is. Mighty Voltic says, gasp lemon law. Gasp lemon law. You can't beat me when I gasp. Then when I have lemon law. Sacred Ointment says, I dedicate this free super chat to you. Have some Sacred Ointment rackets. Hey, thank you. Brian P says, take Google's money. Gladly. Gladly. I'm not above it. Ben McKeemish says, I'm off to Big Boy College as a CJ major, criminal justice major in NorCal. Want to become a law. Any sage wisdom? Just do well. That's all. Do well. Oh, and be a good writer. That'll help you to become a law. That'll help you more than any other thing you can pick up in school. Be a good writer. I mean, doing well is ultimately the best, but being a good writer is the best skill you can pick up in undergraduate. Also, good luck. Pay for as much as you can. Take out as few loans as possible. Get a scholarship if you can. Lay EG says, don't thank me, thank Google. Thanks, Google. And you. Steven Steele says, garden tools mad. Ryan McCorby says, first time donating. Hey, thank you. Thank Google for the funds because I'm about as broke as KickVic's intellect. Love you, Rackets. Keep up the good work. Aw, thank you. Silva Luca says, EFAP sends their regards. Nick, hey, thank you. Thank you to EFAP. Eric Utt, thank you for the donation. Kenneth Williams says, did you see Funny was redubbing Full Metal Alchemist with Real Marque and Soye as the leads? That and the Rooster Teeth VP who got arrested today for assault. Big news. Jordan Murphy says, hey, Nick, ever been to North Dakota? And if so, why? No point. I was driving to Montana and Wyoming. That's why. Franco Miranda says, free super chat for you, Racketeers. You know this show is lit when fire, fire, fire. And you know it. Listen, listen. Oh, come on. How embarrassing. Blackberry Jim says, checking receipts. The worst thing to happen to SJW since the block button. RW Bimble says, are they still tweeting? I told them to stop. Bad Dragonite says, coming to destroy Toye with facts, logic, and Dill DOS. Juro says, I donate to make Lemoyne lose more oxygen. Oh, God. Freighter J says, Ty Beard, or at Ty Beard, what mini should I use for towels? Hopefully he answered you. Tim Kennedy. Is that the Tim Kennedy? That'd be interesting. I mean, that is the Tim Kennedy, but I don't know if it's the Tim Kennedy. Check out the Tesla Cybertruck. The memes will be endless. They tried to show how strong the windows are and ended up smashing them right on stage. Oh, man. Rolf Alexander says, all the freebies. Thank you. AP779 says, first Rekieta super chat ever. Gonna listen to the stream in the morning, but heart you in the meantime. And I heart you back, buddy. Cringe Lord says, do you have any confidence on the appeal? I have confidence that the appeal is valid. I don't know how the appeals court will rule. But, yeah. Sacred Ointment says, KickVic trolls are yikes with how hard they try to kiss up to women and a Soye who only care about their money. Isabel Caden says, hi, Nick. Lovely stream. Love you. I'm staying this time. Oh, hey. Welcome. Thank you. The Fly says, keep up the good fight. Will do. Basement Troll Productions. I don't know how I'll do it since I've been thrown under all of the buses and I'm apparently on my last leg and dying. Basement Troll Productions says, have you seen pics of Scott McNeil? Years ago, he bore a resemblance to Vic and had overlap with his con appearances. Is it possible some of the Vic stories are a case of mistaken identity? Well, we know at least one story is a case of mistaken identity, and it was the big one that set it all off because they were talking about Illich Guardiola. Demonetized says, first super chat. Thank you. Just wanted to say thanks for keeping everyone well informed and level headed through all of this. Squigs for the Squigathrone. Ooh, Squigs are hilarious. Lady Racket seeing Squigs was pretty funny. Oh, they're cute. They eat people whole. Dave DeSave26 says, hey, Nick. Brother's surgery successful, making more and more progress as we speak. Thanks, Nick. Oh, man, I'm so glad to hear that. The Crow751 says $5 handies, 2 hands, 5 minutes per hand. One for T. Greg Poussette, the other for J. Sean Lemonhead. Should have known what you were getting into when I asked last night. No, you bought that on... It comes in pints, games, and more. Says, funny thing is, in a cast interview on the DN Angel DVDs, Monica is practically begging fans for chocolate to get on her good side. Well, maybe she got it. Sean Clark says, I had a crappy day. Thanks for cheering me up, Nick. It's my pleasure. Peter Pete says, my net worth is $1 as far as the IRS is concerned. Proper answer. Matt Field says, mine cough. Infinity says, can't spare 20 right now, but please repost link for your friends GoFundMe. It's in, there's it's over on the other, this side now. There's a little eye with the link. It's also in the description. We can actually get it to the 10K goal. The kids deserve it. Jason MP Jr. says, damn, you're really good at the Vic voice. Become a VA. I don't think they'd let me in. Retro Fantasy Player says, Monica, Jamie, and Ron are so poor when they go to a park, the ducks throw bread at them. Cowboy FMJ91 says, have YouTube's money on me. Thank you. Ty Beard. This is free YouTube money for you, my friend. Hey, thanks, buddy. Oh, no. No, he did it. He did it. Ty Beard paid me off. The collusion is now real. Next, I'm calling Ukraine. Ah, no, Ty, why? We'd grifted so hard, so perfectly for so long, and now it's gone. Gone. Non-natural. It says free super chat because why not? Kick Vic GTFO. Thank you. Archangel of Life says every meme donation I made to Vic's GoFundMe is refunded. I will put it back and double it. Hashtag T. Greg doesn't pay his bills. Oh, man. Thank you. Serial Foxity says, Nazi Lemoyne voice. Get me a glass of juice. Glass of juice. Oh, come on. Okay, I get it. George Disorder says, hey, Nick, check your email. I sent you a picture I made. You will like it. Keep on keeping on, brother. We did that one. I didn't show the other picture. I might. Dorby says that Photoshop is grossly unfair. Her Führer wasn't as lazy and disinterested as Chup. Dustin Fritzfar. Well, that wasn't Chup, man. That was Lemoyne on the Photoshop there. Dustin Fritzfar says, while we are naming online commentators, Tim, it's complicated pool. Trey Naylor 3 says, you keep saying Vic lost on a technicality. What is that technicality? The technicality is that under the TCPA, a case is not determined to be frivolous by whether or not the case is frivolous. Case is determined to be frivolous by whether or not a judge has determined that sufficient evidence was presented to show it to have merit. A little bit of a different thing. Outside of a TCPA, your filing has to indicate just enough information that if the court believes your filing, that it has, that's enough, that's sufficient merit for the case. The TCPA adds an evidence requirement that is different from really any other type of law or pretrial motion. And the technicality is that it's just a matter of if the judge doesn't think your evidence is good enough. And in this case, we've got Judge Chup flat out ignoring evidence, something he's technically not supposed to be able to even do. But you can't stop a judge from doing these things. He's just not supposed to know that that's not part of the process. So that's the technicality. I hope that helps. It's a longer explanation. And I don't have time for it right now. Random Blaze. Zoinks! Scoob! What are we gonna do? Random Blaze says, oh, hi, Mark Whipple. Paraphrasing to get those clicks and views as usual, I see. Why do you not post the full super chat, you sorry excuse for a human being? Afraid you will lose the views. All right. Dustin Fritzfar says, well, no, wait, I read that. John Albert says, according to the Kiwis today, was our Greg bankruptcy thing was also today. That I technically had 21 days. I don't know if he filed it. I haven't checked Pacer to see. I haven't seen anything about it, which makes it ambiguous. For me, Midian Dawn says, didn't know. I had these until now. I've been listening for a while and enjoy your show. Keep up the good work. First super chat ever. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Marius Van says, why did this guy's wife go to the police and not Twitter? That's not how this is supposed to work. Ricky1186, from the sounds of it, a true victim. SJW's where? They probably want due process now. Yellow Flash 2 says Monica Rial supports Michael Quinn. Yellow Flash 2 says Monica Rial says Michael Quinn is a good man. Yellow Flash 2 says I am saying she supports him by not spending out. I think he means speaking out. Sergeant McSalty says, come on, people, let's get this effort trending like we did with Ron. The Dark Knight says, I believe in Vic. He won to me. He tripped me too. Prometheus Zeta says, hypocrisy at its finest. Hugging fans gets you destroyed and thrown out of the industry, but beating your spouse barely gets a response. NPCs suck. Well, in fairness, they'll come after Michael Quinn in 10 years. That's how that's gonna work. Gawker's Death Rattle says, peak Charleston Heston is Ben-Hur. Fight me. Samoto 12 says, love the show, Nick. Keep up the good work. Hey, thanks, pal. Sakaki Onsai says, try Rosebud frozen peas, full of country goodness and green penis. Orson Welles. Raider J says, Alexa, what is gay porn? Stay Positive says, look up the court name that Ty and Vic went to. Oh, they said it. They said it in the document. What was it? No, that's not what I needed. It was the... Why do we have to reload this? The Tom Vandergriff Courthouse. Okay. Twisted Puppet says, how soon till we get transcript of today's hearing? As soon as I possibly can. As soon as it's available and I can get it. Also, I need you to plan a really big story time for my holiday travel, December 23rd into December 24th. Okay, thanks. Oh, buddy, that's a tall order. That's a hard day for me to do much of anything. Samoto 12 says, would you ever have Lemonhead on the show? He says he would debate me. I don't know what he would be debating me about. Maybe the validity of oxygen. Super Saiyan Girl says, love your show. Keep doing what you're doing. Or keep what you're doing, Nick. Thank you. Fluffy Side Up says, if Rooster Teeth doesn't comment on their situation, they're going to be fudged and we'll all laugh. R.W. Bimby says, Bimby, not Bimble. Sorry, no prob. It's hard to read. Bad Dragonite says, Monica, eat me my jelly bean. Come on. Bad Dragonite says, Lemoyne, suck me my lemon. Chad Manning, with the manliest name in chat so far, says, prayer requested for my sister Fallon. She's been in a medical coma for over a week after an OD, and yesterday was her birthday. Oh, man. I will 100% pray for her. That's awful. Sorry to hear that, buddy. All right. Siren Jag. In my Maya voice. Okay. Hey, Phoenix. I have a joke for you. What's the difference between your job and a dead prostitute? You still suck. Come on. Crusader Saracen says, Lemois, what's your net worth? Vic, I got about $350. Pro Hero All Might says, I wonder if Lemoyne has panic attacks during the mosquito scenes in both Jumanji movies. All right, let me start playing the outro. There's like 2 left here. Oh, there's that sweet whiskey drinking lawyer. Bad Cabria Cousin says, a free super chat from me to you, Nick. Wishing you a happy holidays. Blessings to you as the new year approaches. Thank you so much. And then Austin Heartless says, my name is Nick Rekieta, and this is a kid-friendly show. Oh, I'm fined by the FTC. Fined by the FTC. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Oh, this is good timing. We're gonna be right at this 2 a.m. thing here. I'm gonna go over to Twitch in just a minute. I just gotta run, go to the bathroom. The Thought Top is already locked and loaded, baby. Already locked and loaded. So no worries there. Prometheus Zeta says, haven't been able to watch your streams fully in a while. Take another free $5. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Means a lot. Really does. Yeah, come hang out with me on Twitch. We have a fun time. I'm gonna play more Pathfinder Kingmaker over there. So if you're interested in that, come hang out. I picked probably a terrible class, and I'm bad at it. So should be good. Should be good. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. Have a good night. Peace. Come watch the show tomorrow. If there's a ruling, come watch that show tomorrow. Peace.
Folks from Dante to Drexel, they bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed, so pour out a glass for the team. Post on Twitter as we hear Lost Painting tonight. From the white shores of Nairn to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the throng better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the